Thanks for having me. My name is Boaz. I'm from Treedis. Today we're going to see some really cool stuff. For those of you who were in the talk right before us, we were presenting Matterport and Treedis together. Today I want to focus a little bit more on what Treedis did with a specific client in the oil and gas industry. Steve Jobs once said that the App Store unlocks the true potential of the iPhone. Because without the App Store, the iPhone is just another phone. Similar to that, Treedis unlocks the true potential of the Matterport digital twin. It allows you to build many different applications, as you can see here, on top of that wonderful visual layer that is the Matterport digital twin. So what is Treedis? Treedis is a no-code platform that transforms industrial teams into connected workers by leveraging the power of the digital twin. Today, Treedis has 4 core products. The first one is the Connected Workers package that we'll be diving deeper into in this presentation today. We also offer an interactive real estate product specifically for real estate developers and builders to help visualize and market their assets. Immersive experiences for marketing purposes, brand awareness, and storytelling. And indoor navigation, which is a consumer-facing product for helping the end user navigate a large and complex space, like a hospital, an airport, a campus, or even a conference. I want you all to picture something with me. You finish your day at the office and you go into your car and you're about to drive home. The first thing you do when you go into your car, you put the navigation in your sat-nav. Why do you do that? You know the way home. You've driven it hundreds of times. Why do you use that navigation? That's exactly the transformation that the navigation world had. It's not just about getting from A to B. I put in my destination because I want to know what's going on around me. Are there any traffic jams? Maybe some changes. Maybe there's a police officer or a speeding camera, like I found out the hard way just a few days ago here in Germany. That's why we use the navigation apps when we drive home, even though we know the way. That's exactly what Treedis is doing with the industrial world. The connected workers transformation is all about accessing all the data around us, not just getting from A to B. Let's talk a little bit about how it works and how it looks like. We start with the visual layer. That's the Matterport digital twin that we were talking about earlier with Esteban. You capture your space, and once you have that digital twin, you have a perfect representation of your physical site. This is the foundational layer for visualizing any piece of data and information that you want. And what use cases do we have? So we have a variety of use cases that you can see here: training and onboarding, maintenance, collaborations, and you can see here that there are also many different softwares involved. When we approach a client, they already manage their IoT on one software, and they manage their maintenance and equipment units on a different one, and their training modules on a third software. So when we come to them and we want to help them visualize everything within the 3D environment, we have to know how to talk their language, how to speak their language. And that's where you can see Treedis and Matterport, Matterport being the visual layer and then Treedis being the integrator to help integrate with all these different softwares to pull the data into the digital twin. How does it actually work? I know it sounded very, very complex, the previous slide, but it's actually very, very simple. You start by capturing your space with a Matterport camera. Very quick, very easy. Like Esteban said, you can either purchase your camera and do it yourself, or you can use the Matterport capture services. Then you upload your Matterport model to the Treedis no-code app. No-code being the key word here, because anyone can start using the very easy and intuitive platform to start building their own applications for whatever the use case may be. And then the ace up the sleeve is the cross-reality access. You can access this data from any device, but nevertheless interesting, you can access it physically on site. So I can be walking the production floor and I see maybe an engine. I can pull out my mobile device, open the Treedis AR app, point it at this engine and see the technical specs coming from one platform, see the live data coming from any IoT sensors. Maybe I need to perform a step-by-step SOP that has to do with maintenance on it. I have that as well here. That's the connected workers. Everything is in the palm of the engineer that's actually on site and is connected with any remote support that he needs off-site. Here are some of the use cases that fall under that large umbrella that we call connected workers. Like I said, training and onboarding, maintenance, visualizing live data, collaboration, also planning and design. But today the focus is going to be on a specific client, which is Bazan. Bazan is the national oil refinery in Israel. And they had some interesting challenges, I'll put it this way. A refinery is a very noisy and dangerous environment. So when you want to train a group of engineers on whatever it is you want to train them on, the environment can be very dangerous and noisy. So try to imagine cramming 20 engineers into one small engine room and trying to explain what it is they need to do. And everyone is saying, what? I didn't hear you, what is it? And then maybe you need to shut down the engine, so that's downtime. Maybe one of the engineers is very curious, he sticks in his finger somewhere, there goes the finger, so that's injuries. And you're also, sometimes these sites are far out in the middle of nowhere, so you have to fly everyone out there, train them, fly them back, and then position them where they need to be positioned. A lot of challenges. So what they needed was, they needed a very powerful tool to be able to manage the data and to access the data within the 3D environment. As you'll be able to see here, it's not playing, but I'll start talking. Toby's with me. What we did with Bazan, we started off by integrating with their SAP. So we pulled all the data, thanks. We pulled all the data from the SAP and mapped out all the equipment units, as you'll be able to see here. Once we have that, it's very easy to navigate to a specific equipment unit. And you'll see here on the left is the physical view of a worker with the AR app, and on the right is the virtual view. It will navigate you to the right equipment unit where you can see all the technical specs, but not just, also the live data coming from IoT sensors. And notice how there was a line of pumps there. You can easily confuse between them. It will navigate you to the right one, and you know exactly what you need to do. You can also build step-by-step training SOPs, so you can help train these engineers remotely while they're off-site, so they can get very comfortable and familiar before they set foot on site for the first time. And you can also use it as a maintenance tool. What you see here is also one of our great collaboration tools. The possibility to walk the site, see something wrong, flag it, fill out a report. That report gets pushed into SAP as a maintenance ticket, and it's documented. So everyone can engage with it, everyone can tune into that thread. Maybe there's a remote specialist that wants to tune in and give his input. and everything is documented within the 3D environment with contextualization. So we know exactly where the problem is because that's where I place this tag. That's where we see collaboration. The connected workers is not just connecting the worker with the data, but it's also connected the worker with other workers between each other. What you saw at the end here, and it's going to run in loop, so you'll see it again, is another interesting use case, which is for planning and design. Production floors can be very dynamic, replacing old machinery with new one. We have great measurement tools with Matterport. You have also the possibility to stage 3D object in the environment, to highlight pipes. An oil refinery is it has tons of pipes, so it's very hard to figure out which pipe is running from where and what's the liquid running inside the pipe. So you can easily export your digital twin into a CAD file or a BIM file, and then import that data back so you can easily highlight the pipes while walking through the 3D environment. This is the SAP report we were talking about. Great. Now, again, I know it looked very complex. All the different use cases that we saw, it looks very, very complex and hard to do. But again, Treedis is a no-code platform. So what you see here is how easy it is to do it yourself. We understand that scaling is key because it's nice to deploy something on one factory or one department or segment within a factory, but I have dozens of factories. I have hundreds of factories. I want the actual factory to build their own applications. I want the employees, the engineers to use the platform. You can only do that if you have a very intuitive and easy no-code platform. So everything that you saw was built on the Treedis editor. You can easily build step-by-step flows, which you see here, transferring training modules from PowerPoints to these flows very easily. We also have some interesting AI tools that will be integrated within this to help you improve that process during the coming year. And also connecting the IoT sensors, the collaboration tools that we saw, everything is done very intuitively and easily on the no-code platform. I urge each and every one of you to come to our booth and see it for yourselves. I can show you the AR app, I can show you the admin panel, and you can try it yourselves and see how easy it is to do. Before I let you go, are there any questions? Don't be shy now. All right. So once again, I'd like to thank you all for attending, and I invite you to booth number 20 here in the AWS booth to come see the magic for your own eyes. Thank you very much.